Hi, so I'm back. I don't know, I'm back. This is part two to the first video I made. Um, I already got myself dinner, which is spaghetti, and the spaghetti is actually just pasta. It's just straight up like my dad says it's spaghetti that he's gonna cook spaghetti for dinner, but this is kind of just like ravioli. I think I don't know. It's just this fork won't. You get what I mean. It's just pasta. But anyway, right after getting my dinner, I posted the first video that I made, and I just have a little bit more that I want to yap about. So I'm gonna yap about it now before I forget, which I think I forgot almost all of it now, but it's alright because I kind of remember some of it. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and now that there's kind of nobody in the house, I mean, I know my little brothers are asleep, so they probably won't be able to hear me, and I know both my parents aren't in the house, and I know that thankfully this house is somewhat more soundproof than the first one. Like the house before this one that we were in kind of sucked because it was barely soundproof and I could hear everything in the house and it was driving me mad that I had to go sit in my future car, the hand-me-down car that you've probably seen in past videos if you haven't already. I don't know. It doesn't matter who really watches this or who watches my past content. It doesn't matter because it's just my therapy. It's my blog. It's whatever. I don't know. I'm eating pasta. Who cares? Um, but now I actually have like an actual desk chair. But this room is a lot more smaller than the other one, but honestly, this house kind of makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I need to fix all of that up, and I also need to work on a commission. And also, I'm working on the bug pinning, which I still have yet to do. I still need to go and get like a shadow box, and actually, I think I have a foam square. Yeah, I do have a foam square. I can use that, and I think I have pins. I know I have a bunch of safety pins, but that's not the same as the regular little pins. Oh, who cares? I kind of feel a little bit more. I feel a little bit more chill. I feel like I can talk a little bit more. But also I'm working on like this big. Ever seen like those like cardboard sculpture things? Um, where people like paper mache. It's like cardboard and paper mache sculptures. I'm doing one of those, but it's gonna be a silverfish because I really like silverfish. I think they look really cute. And on the second week of living here, I found a silverfish on my desk, and it kind of freaked me out for a good solid moment. But then I was like, oh wait, it's kind of cute. It's a little silverfish. But silverfish, of course, obviously mean you have bad room hygiene. Like your room is like the worst hygiene ever, which sucks because it was my first week of living here. So it's not really my fault. I'm still trying to go through all my crap. But I finally got that big box of paper off of my desk. So now I haven't seen any silverfish since. They're probably hiding somewhere. I don't know. But when I tried to get that silverfish out of my room, I couldn't find it. And I swear, ever since I saw that silverfish, I've now gained a very weird obsession with bugs and a bunch of really gross stuff. And I've also been really obsessed with, the entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre, franchise as a whole, specifically the second movie. I really like the second movie, but I really like the first movie because it's really grimy. But also, I really like the movie Silence of the Lambs. I don't know, something about it just speaks to me. Buffalo Bill really speaks to me, speaking as a trans person. I really love Chop Top. I'm so down bad for Chop Top. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, me and that fuck ass Bob. Oh my gosh. I got that fuck ass Bob. What else was I gonna say? Something. I should probably work on my commission while I yap, because honestly, I feel like just staring at myself is kind of like wasting time. So I'm gonna work on this commission, while I'm at it, while I'm just yapping, because I feel like I become the most talkative and I have the most to say when I start like working on my commission, because I'm like fiddling with something in my hands, and if I'm not fiddling with something in my hands, then it makes it hard for me to really talk, and it makes it hard for me to really think because I have ADHD. I'm neurodivergent, so it makes it hard for me to really do anything unless if I like have something to fidget with. And crocheting is kind of like fidgeting, and ever since sorry, since sophomore year, I've been getting really big into crocheting, but then at some point I stopped crocheting. And then sometime near like the middle of junior year, I started getting back into it, and I found out that my school actually has a fiber arts club called Stitch Witches, and I thought that was really cool. And there are a lot of cool people in Stitch Witches, and they're really nice. And the teacher that like kind of just watches over Stitch Witches, she's also really cool. She's the French teacher. So yeah, I think she also does like regular like English, not like, learning the language English, but like writing literature. I don't know. But she's really cool. And I think she's like in her 50s or 60s, which is really crazy because she looks like she's in her like at least late 20s. But I'm surprised, man. Like, she really aged like fine wine. And, yeah, so I've just been doing lots of crocheting, and I like to do it because it helps me relax, and it actually really does help me relax. Like, sometimes I'll get really angry and stressed out and frustrated, and when I just crochet and I just think about all the negative things that are going through my brain, then I start to angry crochet. And when I angry crochet, I crochet fast. Like I will start to crochet like super fast. Like I'll just go like and within like 2 to 5 minutes I'll completely finish a line in all of that anguish. And then the more I crochet, the more relaxed I start to feel because, it's that repetitive pattern that just calms you down. It just makes you feel alright. It makes you feel like everything's alright now. And everything's okay. And I love that. I love that about crocheting. It just really does help. It's very therapeutic. And I definitely recommend it in case if like you can't afford therapy. You can afford to crochet, by the way, just letting you know. I've been able to find some decent yarn at the dollar store. And also most yarn is like usually around like it can be like around $1 and like up to like $5 or $6, and that's like the most expensive yarn can get, depending on where you live though. And crochet hooks are also not that expensive. I'm actually using one of the crochet hooks that I got from like a big pack of crochet hooks that I found at the dollar store, because the dollar store that I live nearby, um, whoa, don't start trying to figure out my location, please. Don't do that. But um yeah, like I went over there once and I found some good yarn. It was some pretty decent yarn. And these crochet hooks, they do kind of suck and you got to be careful cuz like these can break like pencils. Like I had the original crochet hook that I was using for this, which is a I don't really know what it says kind of now, but oh yeah, it's a 4 point millimeter. This is a 4 millimeter. And since I accidentally broke it, I'm now using a 4.5 millimeter. But it works just as well. Just don't put too much pressure on the plastic hooks. Because of course they're plastic hooks, they're cheap, but it's for $1 and I kinda need some more crochet hooks, so I was like, why not? You know? Because the ones that I have, they're either too big or too small and just not the right size or whatever. I actually need more tiny crochet hooks so I can make tiny projects. I was originally going to make a tiny, crusty, moldy Pop Tart, but it's hard to make Pop Tarts look moldy because anytime I look up on like Google or whatever to search up for like moldy Pop Tarts, they just never really look all that great. They don't look all that fun. They don't really have all that fungus and such. They just kind of look like they've been melted, or they kind of just look super colorful, and I'm just like, whoa. But none of them really have the white fuzz or whatever, like what strawberries have. They don't mold as great as other things do, which really sucks. So I decided that I'm gonna do something. Ooh, what also got me like really big into mold was Resident Evil, of course. Like, dude, I need to play Resident Evil 7. It seems like it would be so up my alley, because I'm like, I really like stuff that has that like very like, like scary Southern family type of vibe. Like, I don't know, something about it about like characters that are being welcomed in or whatever by like some like Southern family, and they're trying to be all hospitable, but they're all like crazy and kind of disgusting, and they're just stuck in like some grimy, gross place, and it's like, oh, this is scary. I really like that type of look, and I would love to play Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Like, I really want to play that. But until then, oh well. I actually, um, I actually have a design for a Pop Tart that I want to make. And it's gonna be like a Pop Tart, but the Pop Tart has like Resident Evil mold on it instead of like just regular old mold. Because I really want to do something cool like that. I just want to make something really unique and fun. But oh well. I just really like mold. Resident Evil made me obsessed with mold, and Silverfish also made me really obsessed with mold and bugs and gross stuff. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Silence of the Lambs has inspired me to write a story. And the story is about a couple, and they first meet by being put in the same like asylum, and they're like both put in this asylum because it's like around the time when being part of the LGBT was considered being like insane or something, or whatever. They were both put in there like when they were like really young and just being like wanting to represent as the opposite gender. And I have these two characters whose names are Martin and Daffodil. Daffodil can also have her name be shortened to like Daffodil is like the cute like pet name that Martin gives her, but also she's also called Daphne, which is like the name she gives herself. And in the story, they're often referred to as transvestites because set at the time, they don't know about the word, because the word transgender isn't really used all that much during the time of the 70s and the 80s, which is the timeline it was set in. Like, so yeah, Daphne or Daffodil, she's set in there 5 years or like a few years before Martin shows up. And Martin's like a little bit younger than Daphne, like it's about a 5 year age gap, but I think it would just be very fitting for the time. So don't think that I'm weird for that. Like, I just think it would be very fitting for the whole theme of it. And don't say, oh, but that sounds like pedo shit. And I'm like, that's actually not pedo shit because they're both like, okay, so Martin's 19 when he's like first put in. And Daphne, I actually think not a 5 year age gap. I'm thinking possibly like Martin's like, no, he's like 17 or 18, and Daphne's like around, I want to say like sometime in her like early 20s, and that's the time they meet around. And Daphne's referred to as her, biological name, biological man name, and they do get quite dead named quite so much because, of course, I like to really fit it in with its timeline, and I'm just trying to make it as, like, set in the 70s and 80s. They are placed in there in the 70s, but then they escape sometime in the 80s, and then they live together in like some abandoned house, which they kind of like to. Because of the asylum, they actually, before they were put in, they were completely sane. They were just transgender. They were both just two transgender people who were just wanting to be seen as their preferred identity. But everybody refers to them as transvestites because, considering the time, that's what they said. They said, oh, transvestites, they're just transvestites, blah, 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 blah. But, they're actually really happy together because they both see each other as who they were always meant to be, like the people they should have been, the people they want to be seen as. And they both love each other and they're very supportive of each other. But because of the asylum, well, the asylum's how they met, but also the asylum actually, like sometimes lobotomizes, because they still did like lobotomy sometime around that time. When did they stop doing lobotomies? I feel like that would have been like the 80s or 90s. I forget, but it's like during the 70s when they're both placed in there. So they're both kind of like having some like weird treatments being done on them and all of that, and it's just really messing with them. And it actually worsens their brains. And when they escape, because they want to get out of that really terrible environment, their brains go a little bit cuckoo. And because of all of the surgeries that were done on them, they've had lobotomies, trepanations, or something like that. I'm still working on the story. They now have a love for. They now have a. The only way they can sustain themselves is by like eating human meat. So what they do is they invite people into their place, and let me just say, Daphne, she's heavily inspired off of Buffalo Bill, and Martin, he's heavily inspired off of Leatherface. So that's just the whole thing that I'm going with for them. And Martin, he's the one that butchers the people and like fillets people, and Daphne's the one that makes skin suits or whatever. Sorry, I just heard the door open and now I'm like kind of scared. I'm a little bit scared, guys. But I just remember that my parents are like partially deaf, so it's like, what's even? So, plus, also the house is like, I don't know. The house is just so quiet right now. When we first moved here, then it actually did sound very soundproof. But now, like, living here a little bit more, my ears are starting to, like, enhance. Like, I have very weird enhanced hearing. I don't know, for whatever reason, my hearing is, like, 100 right now. Like, I can hear everything completely fine. Like, I can hear somebody fart from miles away, yet I can't hear when somebody asks me a basic question right in front of my face. Make it make sense. I don't want to hear somebody fart from like a different room. I want to hear somebody like trying to ask me a question so I don't have to say what? What? Oh, what did you say? I don't know. It's just super obnoxious. Like, let me just listen to what people are trying to say. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's just something. I really want to finish this row so I can just like eat my spaghetti because I'm kind of hungry and it's kind of cold. Probably. It might be cold now. I don't want my pasta to go cold. I hate eating cold pasta. Cold pasta is just not it, in my opinion. You know what's odd? I like pasta. I really like pasta. Pasta's awesome. Like, shout out the Italians for that stuff. Like, the Italians are awesome for that. But also, I can't stand lasagna. Something about lasagna actually spikes fear into me. Like, what's the fear for. Wait, hold on. There is a wackadoodle word for almost every fear. What's the fear of lasagna? The fear of lasagna. Yeah, I get there's such thing as creepypasta. Come on. In any disorder context, fear foods or items people avoid due to anxiety. Okay, well, I don't have fears of any of that. I'm just, I don't know. Fear the old lasagna or slash Bloodborne. I think I need to get into Bloodborne. I don't know. Should I? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to. Wait a minute. None of my stuff got restored. I am not pinning Microsoft Edge. I don't care. Whatever. All of my stuff just disappeared, so that's great. Mm, but anyway, I bought Dead by Daylight because it was on sale. It was on like a 60% sale or something like that. So I got it for like $7. I still need to play it with some friends, but all of my friends who say, "Oh yeah, I love playing Dead by Daylight," are suddenly saying, "Oh yeah, Dead by Daylight sucks now, it sucks." And I'm like, please don't tell me I just spent money on a game that I'm not even gonna be able to play with anybody with. I don't know. But a while back for my birthday, my ex bought me like Hylix 2 and also Postal 2 and 3. I think the first Postal game was free, right? I forget. But now I have Postal 1, 2, and 3, and I also have Hylix 1 and 2. I still need to play those games, and I still need to play Pumpkin Panic, and I still need to play Dead by Daylight. I already played Poco. Poco's a pretty good game. Same with The New Flesh. The New Flesh is just an ambience game with that is like it's a Red Fox ambience game. I like Red Fox. Their music's good. Um, I've always wanted to like do like some video games, like just play some video games while I yap. Like I always wanted to just do that, like just make some videos of just me playing video games. But also at the same time, setting all of that up is a nightmare. Like back when I used to make Sims 4 videos, and it was only 2 videos because honestly that's all I could handle because around that same time The Sims 4 started to really suck and all of my CurseForge stuff just wouldn't appear anymore. And I was getting really annoyed by that, and also I couldn't like figure out how to like record my stuff. Cause a while back I lost like 3 hours worth of footage of me writing a fanfiction because I used this one stupid website that I just found out of nowhere. And apparently I can only record up to 3 minutes of footage before like using it had a price to it. And I was like, no, thank you. So now I lost a bunch of computer footage, screen recording footage, whatever. So now I need to figure out how to actually screen record on my computer and also have the camera thing working so I can record my reaction or whatever to playing video games. I don't know. I don't know. I really wanna play these games, but also like record it so I can look back on it one day and be like, wow, I played Hylix 1 and 2, and I played Postal 1, 2, and 3. I think Postal 3 is actually super buggy, and I think like even the like developing squad or whatever for Postal 2 like said, bro, just don't even play it. Like they said it themselves, don't play Postal 3 because it's just hella buggy and it will probably crash your computer or some shit. But I did not buy it. I did not buy it, my ex did. And now I do not talk to my ex at all because hate, I despise my ex now because they confused me to, they confused me, man. I was like, what the freak? I don't know. I was really annoyed by them. They got on my nerves. But yeah, I should play these games someday. I should. I really should. Sorry, I thought I heard somebody say my name. Anyway, I feel like they're talking about me, but that might just be my anxiety and my brain messing with me and saying, they're talking, talking about you. Your parents, they just came home and now they're talking. I bet it's just about getting my car detailed and all of that because they still need to help me out with that. I still need to get my driver's license. So, yeah. But anyway, I've pretty much recorded about 40 minutes, even though this video is 26 minutes, but the other video was also 20 something minutes. So that all adds up to a good solid 24 minutes. I mean, 40 minutes. I would have just gone on and on and on and yap, yap, yap. I just went onto YouTube, and the first thing I see is the internet's fascination with pony suffering. What? Pony abuse. What are people doing to ponies? I'm gonna watch that after this, actually. I kind of want to just, like, go nonverbal and just crochet. When you chafe on that scrunk, and now you just nonverbal. Anyway, I think I've ran out of things to yap about now. And my voice is super creaky because I'm trying to, like, I don't know. I think I'm just still trying to, like, dip my toes in the water of just yapping to myself out loud. I don't know. It's still kind of hard and scary for me to just, like, yap to myself out loud like this and just something about it. It's like my anxious brain won't shut up. And yes, I just burped just there, and yes, my mouth is starting to just water like crazy. I want to rewatch Zero Day. That's a good movie. No, you know what I just remembered? Oh my gosh, wait a minute, hold on. I know on YouTube, it's on YouTube. This one movie I'm trying to watch. What? Welcome to the rare shit, full My Chemical Romance bootleg. What? Bootleg compilation album from 2007 by Paper Jam. I'm gonna put that to my watch later. There's this movie that's kind of like Zero Day, but I think it came out like before Zero Day. It's this one movie called like Duck or something. Where is it? No, not one. Duck exclamation point. It's kind of like Zero Day. Practically like Zero Day. Hold on. To 2005? Was it? Where is it? Movie. It's a movie that was based off of a national tragedy. Same with Zero Day. Now I'm just getting. I don't want to watch Migration. I want to watch Duck. Where is it? This movie came out in like, what, 2000. 2005? Hold on. I gotta, like, just search this up. I'm not looking for DuckDuckGo. I'm looking for. Do I have to search this up? Duck. Okay, there we go. Duck the car. That movie was from 1999? Goodness. Give it like a year after, man. Come on. That's actually crazy. It's an American teen black comedy crime film inspired by national tragedy. Can't say it out loud. I don't feel like saying it out loud. VHS tape, Duck. That's what it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch this movie like right after this. I don't know. Why am I getting shorts? I'm not looking for shorts. Oh my gosh. Well, now suddenly I can't find the movie. I probably have it on my watch later. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie. Yeah, it's okay, there we go. It's right there. I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm gonna watch Carabine? Or is it Carbine? Whatever. I'm gonna watch this movie since I just remembered Zero Day exists, and I'm like, oh wait, I should watch that. But I'm gonna eat my dinner while I watch this movie, like with my headphones on, of course, and work on this commission. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of just bored. My gosh, 32 minutes. Yeah, I need to get stuff done.